And if the cold breath of failure brushes against your door once more, let it in. Not because you welcome it, not because you're ready, but because denying it only makes it linger longer. Let it walk in with its mess, untied laces, dirt on its feet, and the heaviness it always brings. Let it settle in the corner of your life, not as a guest, not as a friend, but as something known. Something you've met in the quiet hours of doubt. You don't have to dress up for it. You don't have to act stronger than you feel. Just be there. Just keep breathing. That's all. Failure isn't some distant villain. It's been here before. It knows where you hide your fears the exact moment your heart starts racing before you try again. It recognizes the way you pretend you're fine. It remembers the silence after a setback, the unspoken grief in small, invisible losses. It's in the pauses, in the almosts, in the way you hold your breath waiting for things to change. It never really leaves, not entirely. Sometimes it fades into the background, other times it knocks the wind out of you, but it always watches as you rise again. And if this weight, this burden of not making it, is resting on your shoulders, what does that say about you? It says you carried it. It says you had enough courage to try, that the heaviness you feel is not weakness, and it's evidence, proof that you loved something enough to chase it, that you risked being seen, being judged, being broken, that you gave the world your time, your effort, your sleepless nights, your trembling voice. And maybe the world didn't give back, maybe it didn't applaud, maybe it turned away, but you gave anyway. And that counts. No one really prepares you for how much effort and disappointment travel together. No one tells you that often. When you give your all you get in return is silence. Or worse, rejection dressed in indifference. But even then, even without reward, you stepped forward. You weren't passive, you didn't hide. You made a choice to begin, knowing full well it might end in heartbreak. And that is not weakness. That is the definition of courage. We grow up thinking that success is the only thing that validates our worth, that we matter only when we win, that only when people clap or numbers climb or dreams come true can we call ourselves enough. But what if that's never been true? What if the real miracle is not the outcome but the attempt? What if the crack in your chest is not failure but love? What if it's your soul whispering, "You cared deeply"? What if that's the most human thing of all? There's a certain beauty in that vulnerability. Like standing barefoot on wet ground after the storm, clothes soaked, hair clinging to your skin, breath uneven, but alive, still breathing, still here. And maybe that's the only thing that really matters. Wear your failure like that, not as a curse, but as a reminder, a scar that says, "I showed up." A mark that proves you were not numb, that you tried when it hurt, that you kept going even when no one was watching, that you leaned in when the world said, "Turn back." There are truths you can only understand once you've fallen, the raw humility of trying, the quiet agony of being vulnerable, and the sacred resilience it takes to stand back up. These are lessons that winners often miss, because failing isn't the opposite of winning, it's the path through it. Maybe the prize slipped through your fingers, maybe your name was never called, but none of that erases the bravery it took to want something with your whole heart. To reach out, to step forward, to risk breaking in front of everyone. The world can overlook you, but it can never erase the fact that you had the audacity to try. So if that same weight returns tomorrow, if your chest tightens and the voice of doubt gets louder, carry it again. Carry it not with shame, but with honor. Because you belong to the rare group of people who dared, who loved something enough to risk failing for it. And that, more than anything else, is what makes you extraordinary.